There we go. We're live. Hi, everyone. It's Bhavani here from Mind, Body, Spirit, where I'm chatting to our wonderful presenters who are hosting workshops with us at the Mind, Body, Spirit Festival, taking place at the end of May in London this year. At the moment, I am joined by the wonderful and very international Show Nemoto, who is hosting a workshop with us for the first time. Hello, Show. How are you doing?
Hey, it's good to see you. I am fantastic. I'm currently in
You
Costa
too.
Rica and
Yeah.
super excited to get back to London as well.
I know we're so looking forward to seeing you here in the flesh. I know you've been enjoying, Costa Rica for a while and traveling around, and you're going to be gracing London with your presence and with an in-person workshop at the festival. Tell our audience, our community, all about what it is that you're going to be doing at the festival.
Yes, so I I'm going to do mainly a movement of ecstatic dancing and a little bit of breath work, a little bit of meditation. It's a mixture of like a movement and a stillness,
Hmm.
and that will allow you to get rid of the blockage and open some doors. And it is the one of my best practice I personally do.
Hmm.
And I believe that, as we talked about it, like it's easy to access the videos and to have a chat with people all over the world and to see someone else's faces, the photos and whatever.
Yeah.
But to actually having a physical engagement, that energetic communication,
Hmm.
and also to be in the same place and have that same practice together is definitely something. And I feel like because of the COVID and because of all the like digital version of this modern society, that people are craving the physical practices, the physical retreat, rather than
Hmm.
just be online and like part of the Zoom call. I mean, it's also nice, and like, because I'm hosting one of those. But if I could host a physical workshop, that is definitely way better than the Zoom call, and that's just
And
true.
that's what you're going to be doing with us, which is why we're so pleased. That's the really wonderful thing about the festival, that it is an opportunity once a year in London, to come together and
Yeah.
actually learn from amazing teachers that come together literally from all over the world, different cultures, different practices, different techniques, and to actually be in the room and experience that, that spiritual expansion that can happen once we're really all participating together. So you're actually a life coach, and this is something that you are bringing to the festival. This ecstatic dance, this movement, the somatic movement, and breath work. What are some of um, the changes, some of the benefits that we can expect our attendees to experience? Because I know your workshop is, reconnecting to your authentic self. It's all about coming back to that authenticity. What is it that people can expect to feel afterwards?
The blockage.
The
So
block.
my yes. So what I believe is that we don't pay attention without the pain, right? So like when we facing something obstacles or challenging moment, that's when we pay attention. So when you, let's say, okay, if somebody tell you like, okay, now you have to dance in front of the people, you feel self-conscious, you feel shy, you feel insecure, but that's a
Mm,
blockage. But end of the day, it's really you and yourself. It's not the fact that people are watching, it's the fact that we feel that certain way.
mm,
So actually letting go those things and challenging ourselves. I mean, we all feel that way, right?
yeah.
But to go beyond of those self-consciousness, go beyond of this little bit of insecurity and fear, and that movement comes with it, is so powerful. And breath work as well. Breath work is one of the most powerful practices that you can do, and I love breath work.
Mm,
It's
mm,
so intense if you go really really deep.
mm,
And that those practices that we don't do on a daily basis really expand our potential and possibility, so that allows us to really change some part of ourselves or some part of our life in a longer period of time.
mm,
it's
mm.
it's it's really interesting that when you move, it's not like you go to the club and like you dance, but it's more like it's very interesting movement, and then you just go with the flow. You can dance like a weird, super weird, but it's if it's the way that you want to move, and that should
Yeah,
be the way that you move. But if you go to the club, then you're like, like it's like,
dancing to be seen.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Like everyone is just like dancing like that, but probably half of them, most of them, just like feeling like insecure and trying to be cool.
So
That's
what we're
pretty,
saying is, when it comes to movement in your workshop, people do not have to worry about feeling cool, and it's really
no,
about overcoming that outward expression of how it looks
yeah,
and connecting to how the body wants to be moving. And you're going to be doing that with, with powerful breath work as well.
yes.
Yeah, I love it. And I know that you've mentioned in your when we've spoken about your workshop before, and in the workshop, that if anyone's seen it already listed online, it's definitely not one for the faint-hearted. I know that you are encouraging people to allow themselves to be challenged by this workshop, right?
hmm
Yeah. So you're really encouraging people to not necessarily look to feel comfortable in the workshop.
Yeah, I mean, it is very refreshing, and it feels good.
Mm,
But there will be a challenging moment. It depends on the individual. For instance, the breath work, you might feel like, like holding a breath is tough. Some
yeah,
people can hold breath a couple minutes. Some people can hold breath for 30 minutes, 30 seconds. So
exactly.
it depends on the individual to how you feel. But then after that, you feel great. You feel there's like you release something. And then when it
Mm,
comes to the movement, you might feel like, oh, I'm insecure when it comes to the dancing. But you will see some people like releasing everything, just going crazy. And then if you look at those people, and then like you not dancing is more actually embarrassing because everyone else is dancing, right? It's like that kind of like internal fight, the conflict that you experience. But if you actually start dancing and you enjoy it,
mm,
and that's the unpleasant part that I'm talking about. But
mm.
although it is a great experience for sure.
I think it also will bring, bring to the forefront that realization that the moment we are restricting ourselves or concerned about others, we're robbing ourselves of the chance for the actual experience, because we're still caught up in what the mind is doing, and how it's caught up in more in what others are doing, rather than going through the experience ourselves. So I think it's going to be a great space in which people can explore this, especially if they're new to these sorts of practices, right?
Yeah.
To sort of have
I'm
a
not.
have
Yeah,
a
I'm not gonna make it too typical. I wanna at least have like for the beginners an experience, so that
yeah.
everyone can like come join without feeling too much pressure.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes. All right. But you are, yeah, yeah. I won't say it's going to be too challenging, but it is going to be something
yeah,
that, like, I suppose that's, they say that you can't grow within your comfort zone. So it's about coming out of that comfort zone
exactly.
into the growth zone.
Yeah.
Cool. So would you be able to share a tip already today with our community that you will be sharing in your workshop, that people can already begin to put into practice from today, that can begin to make them even more excited about joining you live in London?
Tip for like on a daily basis.
Yeah, whether it's a daily tip or something that you share to implement from time to time, because I know you mentioned both aspects. You talked about
Mhm.
things that we do every day, but things that we perhaps don't do every day.
Yeah.
So is there a tip that you can share with our community now that they can already begin to have a little play with?
Right. Um. Yeah. I think you pointed out something really great. Like we get caught up with like starting things,
Mm,
but we also should be able to quit things. So
mm,
like to me, like, oh, I want to join this and I want to start this and I want to have this, but we don't really focus on the letting go. We don't focus on releasing. We don't focus on quitting. And when you don't have a space within ourselves, it's hard for us to absorb something new. You know, we're like a sponge, but if it's filled with the dirty water from the past, and it's hard for us to absorb, you have to fast, let it go the water, so that we
Mm,
can absorb the new water. So like I'm really on a daily basis, it's more like how I think, but like I'm always thinking about what is important and what is necessary to even think about,
mm,
and not randomly spending my time and energy on thinking about what happened and just stress me
mm,
out, or
mm,
what happened with a friend or whatever. I always thinking about something important, so that I'm preoccupying myself with very important aspect, or something very that I'm grateful for. And I
mm,
have been quitting a lot of things. And
mm,
I've met so many people who don't drink right now, and
mm,
I stopped drinking like 2 years ago. I don't I don't tell anyone to quit drinking, but those quitting habits that is definitely not bringing you any benefit, and then
mm,
starting something that actually bring you benefit, is
mm,
like twice the effect. So
mm,
I would say, you know, this is going to be a great opportunity to join a festival and a workshop, but also look into these daily habits that we are doing, and then hey, like, is it necessary for us
mm,
to drink this much of alcohol, or is it
mm,
necessary, or does it bring me a benefit to
mm,
to do this or to do that?
mm,
And then if there's a question mark, then I think that is quite a great sign to step back and think about, or maybe reduce the amount, or you can
mm,
go, cold turkey. But I think that is something that I would definitely suggest for everyone to really be mindful.
mm, mm. To become aware of the habits which you're currently engaged in, which perhaps aren't serving you, whatever they might be, versus always looking at accumulating new habits which are good for us, but actually looking at what we're already doing that we can already just reduce or eliminate.
Yeah.
Completely. I really love that one. That's such a good one that we can already use, because it's true. Many of many times these tips are about more of what we can do and add this and add that, but actually to strip it back and be like, what am I actually doing that I could avoid? So that's a beautiful one. Thank you so much. So I could keep talking, but I know that we're already quite some time into our lives. So I just wanted to have this quick chat with you so people could get more of an understanding of what they'll be doing with you in the workshop. Thank you so much for taking the time to chat to me here. And thank you
Thank
to
you.
anyone who's joined us live and to people who are catching up in their own time. Do you want to let everyone know once again when your workshop is with us, Show?
Yes, it's going to be 29th, end of the May,
Yeah.
and 1 p.m., I believe. Am I right?
1:15. Yeah. They can
1:15,
get there
yes.
for one.
Yes. So I'll be in London, and super excited to have host this workshop. So
We're
I'll
really
see you
excited
guys
to have
there.
you then. We'll see you there. Thank you so much, Show. We'll see you soon.
Awesome. See you soon.